Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Anubha Rohatgi and with me is R.S. Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal calls for integration of One District, One Product initiative with Open Network for Digital Commerce. Multimodal logistics parks in Maharashtra to bring in employment opportunities and some relief in transport costs, says Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari. Chief Justice U.U. Lalit says Supreme Court to devise new mechanism for mentioning of case by 1st September. Supreme Court seeks response from Karnataka government on pleas challenging High Court's verdict refusing to lift ban on hijab in state educational institutions. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to visit United Arab Emirates from 31st of this month for 14th India-UAE Joint Commission meeting and 3rd India-UAE Strategic Dialogue. Russia calls on international community to put pressure on Ukraine to reduce tension at Moscow-controlled Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. NASA postpones mission to the moon following technical snag. In Durand Cup football, Mumbai City trounces Rajasthan United 5-1 and Odisha defeat Sudeva Delhi 3-0. US Open Tennis Tournament, the fourth and final Grand Slam of the year, kicks off in New York. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said that the One District, One Product program, ODOP, is aligned to the vision of a holistic coverage of the entire nation, being participants and beneficiaries of development. Launching the ODOP gift catalogue and storefront on Government e-Marketplace in New Delhi, Mr. Goyal said every district in the country has the potential that can equal that of entire countries around the world. He said the success of Uttar Pradesh with the One District, One Product program will help other states understand its immense potential.
Today, across the 75 districts of Uttar Pradesh, the One District, One Product concept and plan is visible on the ground. People are aware of it. And I think the success of Uttar Pradesh will only help the rest of us understand the potential of real India, the old traditional heritage that we have all inherited. It has huge potential.
The minister said with consistent articulation, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made ODOP a national movement. He said for many decades, fruits of development were confined to a certain set of people, regions or states. He added, Mr. Modi had said that India cannot develop unless the remotest areas become equal stakeholders in growth. Mr. Goyal urged to take pledge that the first 12 months of Amrit Kal will be dedicated to ensuring that One District, One Product items are the preferred choice for gifting. He stressed on the need to work towards ensuring that our products get the geographical indication tag. Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that the upcoming multimodal logistics parks in Maharashtra would bring in employment opportunities and some relief in transport costs. He was virtually addressing a review meeting regarding the 8 multimodal logistics parks planned in Ratnagiri, Jalna, Bhiwandi, Akola, Sangli, Jalgaon, Solapur and Nashik districts. Mr. Gadkari said these parks will help in reducing the transportation costs by 6 to 7% and thus aiding in the state's development.
Union Minister for Education Dharmendra Pradhan has said that the key to removal of poverty lies in education. In order to optimize the benefits of education, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visualized the new education policy. Addressing the gathering through video conferencing on the occasion of the 14th Foundation Day celebration of the Koraput-based Central University of Odisha, the minister said that our educational institutions run on the tax paid by the common man. Hence, it is our duty to pay them back through education. A report.
The Education Minister said that in the new education policy, stress has been given on mother tongues. He said that the scheduled tribes children, when taught through their respective mother tongues, will get a boost in their primary education, besides being able to develop critical thinking. He said that the empowerment of the scheduled tribes also lies in their mother language. Underlining the importance given by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on millet, the minister said that there is a need to popularize the Koraput coffee, paddy, mango and millet produced organically in the tribal majority district of Koraput in Odisha. Reminding the gathering of the Prime Minister's call on 5 oaths to be taken on the occasion of the last Independence Day, the minister too called upon all to build Koraput, which is pregnant with many possibilities, into a manufacturing hub. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
अगर आप कॉम्पिटिशन्स की तैयारी कर रहे हैं तो आप सबों के लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो की प्रेजेंटेशन है अभ्यास, एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम जहां हमें 9289094044 पर व्हाट्सएप करते हैं आप अपने ऑडियो सवाल या फिर ईमेल करते हैं abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और इसका जवाब एक्सपर्ट देते हैं रात 9:30 बजे शनिवार को। ज्योग्राफी यानी कि भूगोल है इस बार का विषय और सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 31 अगस्त। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Union MSME Minister Narayan Rane said today over 1,75,000 educated and unemployed youth have been trained under the Skill Development Program by the National Institute of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises NIMSME in Hyderabad. He said over 6,000 programs have been held with an aim to provide employment opportunities to the youth. In his address after inaugurating the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the Hyderabad-based NIMSME virtually, the minister said the institute has trained over 5,45,000 government employees of various states as part of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Minister of State for MSME Pratap Singh Verma earlier laid the foundation stone for the Diamond Jubilee building at the institute this morning. Speaking on the occasion, he said NIMSME played key role in reviving the small and medium-scale enterprises sector through skill upgradation, skilling and training programs, especially post-COVID-19.
The Chief Justice of India, U. Lalit, today said that the Supreme Court was devising a new mechanism for the listing of matters. He said the new mechanism will be operational by 1st September. He was replying to a query by Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who inquired if the advocates could mention matters before the bench. The CJI stated that every registered matter would be listed on the same day and would be included in any advance list. It could be listed within 10 days or be on the advance list so that the date of listing is known. A day before taking oath as the Chief Justice of India, Justice Lalit had announced that he would try to bring in more transparency with respect to listing and mentioning of cases. The Supreme Court has sought a response from the Karnataka government on pleas challenging the High Court's verdict refusing to lift the ban on hijab in educational institutions of the state. The court also issued a notice in the matters as well on the prayer to stay the High Court judgment. The apex court turned down the request for more time and fixed the matter for a hearing on 5th September. On the 15th of March, a full bench of the Karnataka High Court had dismissed petitions filed by Muslim female students in Udupi seeking the right to wear hijab in classrooms. The High Court had earlier stated that the wearing of hijab is not an essential religious practice in Islam and that freedom of religion under Article 25 of the Constitution is subject to reasonable restriction. The High Court also upheld an order issued on the 5th of February by the state which suggested that wearing hijabs can be restricted in government colleges where uniforms are prescribed and ruled that such curbs under norms for college uniforms are constitutionally permissible.
Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh today visited a premier radar station of the Indian Air Force IAF where he witnessed the functioning of the Integrated Air Command and Control System. The system is the backbone of IAF's march towards network centricity and is a key enabler in operations. During his visit, Mr. Singh was demonstrated various networked operations conducted at varied locations across the country. These included the networked and synergized operations of fighter, transport and remotely piloted aircrafts. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will be visiting United Arab Emirates from the 31st of this month for co-chairing the 14th India-UAE Joint Commission meeting and the 3rd India-UAE Strategic Dialogue with Foreign Minister of UAE Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. During his 3-day visit, Dr. Jaishankar will also meet other dignitaries of UAE. The External Affairs Ministry said these meetings will provide an opportunity to review the entire spectrum of comprehensive strategic partnership between India and the UAE.
BJP's National President JP Nadda inaugurated a party office in Guwahati this evening. He inaugurated the party's Northeast office, Padma Bhavan, at Uzan Bazar area in Guwahati city. Later, he held a meeting with the chief ministers of BJP-ruled states in the Northeast and state BJP presidents of the region. Mr. Nadda discussed with them the measures to strengthen the party at grassroots level in the Northeast. He said, "If we talk of tribals, the first citizen of the country is now a tribal woman. It was done for the first time in independent India." He also claimed that the BJP is the only party sensitive enough to genuinely include tribals in the mainstream of national life.
भारत के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री ने जनजाति समाज को अमृतकाल के अवसर में 75 साल की आजादी के पश्चात भारत के सर्वोच्च पद पर अगर किसी को बैठाने का काम किया है तो वो जनजाति महिला आदरणीय श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू को वहां पर सुशोभित किया, देश के सर्वोच्च पद।
In Jammu and Kashmir, the J&K police has launched online mobile application JK eCop, an easy-to-use interface to facilitate common people. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the mobile app enables the citizens to use a host of services ranging from registering a complaint to downloading a copy of an FIR. A citizen can make requests like obtaining a character certificate, employee verification, event performance or tenant or PG verification through this mobile app. Details about missing persons and unidentified dead bodies, etc. can also be obtained through this portal. Other services regarding the traffic police are also available to the citizens through this app. These services range from reporting a traffic violation to reporting an accident. Information about the highway status in the app will help the citizens to plan their travel. Paying a challan online through this app will not only help the citizens, but will also ease the burden of the department.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal calls for integration of One District, One Product initiative with open network for digital commerce. Multimodal logistics parks in Maharashtra to bring in employment opportunities and some relief in transport costs, says Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari. Chief Justice UU Lalit says Supreme Court to devise new mechanism for mentioning of cases by 1st September. Supreme Court seeks response from Karnataka government on pleas challenging High Court's verdict refusing to lift ban on hijab in state educational institutions. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to visit United Arab Emirates from 31st of this month for 14th India-UAE Joint Commission meeting and 3rd India-UAE Strategic Dialogue. Russia calls on international community to put pressure on Ukraine to reduce tension at Moscow-controlled Zaporizhia nuclear plant. NASA postpones mission to the moon following technical snag. In Durand Cup football, Mumbai City trounces Rajasthan United 5-1 and Odisha defeats Sudeva Delhi 3-0. US Open tennis tournament, the fourth and final Grand Slam of the year, kicks off in New York. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
क्या आप वरिष्ठ नागरिक हैं? क्या आपके मन में सेहत, आर्थिक, सामाजिक या भावनात्मक मुद्दों से जुड़ा कोई सवाल है? आकाशवाणी आपके लिए लेकर आया है कार्यक्रम एक कदम और बुजुर्गों के लिए, हर रविवार रात 9:30 बजे FM गोल्ड पर। रविवार 4 सितंबर FM गोल्ड पर रात 9:30 बजे प्रसारित होने वाले हमारे कार्यक्रम का विषय है बुजुर्गों के लिए रोजगार के वैकल्पिक अवसर। आप अपने सवाल हमें 1 सितंबर तक भेज सकते हैं। हमारा नंबर है 9289094044। आप हमें ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं। पता है एक कदम और AIRnews@gmail.com।
Welcome back to the evening news. President Draupadi Murmu has said the government is committed to connect every Indian with formal banking channel to ensure delivery of benefits to the beneficiaries without any pilferage. The President today discussed the various aspects of bilateral relations between India and the Netherlands with Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. During the discussion, the two leaders discussed the Universal Financial Inclusion initiatives. Queen Maxima appreciated the progress made in India in this direction in the last few years. President Draupadi Murmu noted that the strategic partnership on water launched during the India-Netherlands Virtual Summit last year and other dimensions of bilateral relations have witnessed an improvement in recent years. Queen Maxima is on a 3-day visit to India. Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for the 1.3 billion citizens across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with a series, Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani Ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani Ke Saath, reliving the journey of India since independence over the last 75 years with All India Radio. From 15th August, the series is being broadcast on All India Radio, 100.1 FM Gold Channel, primetime news bulletins and across all its platforms. Tune in to stay updated with All India Radio.
In today's episode, we bring you the landmarks of India's political journey.
Growth of regional parties in the country in the states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra and West Bengal led to the strengthening of multi-party democracy in the country. In the second general elections held in the year 1957, Kerala elected the EMS Namboodiripad-led first communist government in the world.
You see, I came to the communist movement through the anti-imperialist national movement. Within the Congress itself, we were in the left, and as leftist congressmen, we organized ourselves first in the Congress Socialist Party. At that time, the Communist Party was in existence at the All India level.
Soon after, rallies and demonstrations spearheaded by the then ruling party of the Union government, Indian National Congress, against the government's educational policies took place throughout the state. Following the protests, Namboodiripad-led communist government was dismissed under Article 356 on 31st of July 1959. In 1967, DMK came to power, defeating Congress Party under the leadership of C.N. Annadurai in Tamil Nadu.
Professors and students, they evince very keen interest in Asian problems. And when they take keen interest in Asian problems, they pay special attention to India because they consider India to be the experiment station for democracy. Therefore, they are interested in the success of democracy in India. Therefore, they are very much interested to analyze our actions, our activities and the results.
In 1977, AIADMK led by M.G. Ramachandran came to power in Tamil Nadu. MGR was the first actor to head a government in the world. Soon, another actor, N.T. Ramarao, formed a political outfit, Telugu Desam Party, in Andhra Pradesh and came to power in 1983, defeating Congress.
Sri Ramachandran has been my brother and my guru also. As an artist, not only he a colleague, but now with the present life as a politician, he has inspired me, has shown me the real path of repaying the adoration and the support we got from the people as artists.
In Maharashtra, Shiv Sena led by Bal Thackeray formed the first non-Congress government in 1995 in alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
I am aloof from all these things. I am not getting allured to all this power politics. I don't want to occupy any chair. I don't want any position.
The country also witnessed the emergence of parties like Shiromani Akali Dal, National Conference, Ahom Gon Parishad, Mizo National Front, Nationalist Congress Party, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, Rashtriya Janata Dal United, Janata Dal Secular, Samajwadi Party, Trinamool Congress, YSR Congress, Telangana Rashtra Samiti and Aam Aadmi Party.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke Saath can be accessed on @AIR News Alerts on Twitter, News on AIR official YouTube channel, News on AIR app and Facebook and Instagram handles. So tune in to All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke Saath.
Russia called on the international community today to put pressure on Ukraine to reduce tension at the Moscow-controlled Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, accusing Kiev of endangering Europe ahead of a visit to the facility by the UN nuclear watchdog. Talking to reporters, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said all countries are obliged to put pressure on the Ukrainian side so that it stops endangering the European continent by shelling the nuclear plant. His remarks came as International Atomic Energy Agency chief Rafael Grossi announced he was en route to the plant, which is Europe's largest nuclear facility that has been under Russian control since the early days of Moscow's military campaign in Ukraine. As 2 U.S. warships sailed through the Taiwan Strait yesterday, China watched the passage cautiously. According to experts, it was a muted response from China compared to its threatening responses when House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei in the beginning of this month. This was the first such U.S. operation in Taiwan Strait since Pelosi's visit to the democratically governed island. After that, China asked the U.S. to halt such naval transits and staged some of its biggest ever military exercises around Taiwan, often crossing the median line that separated the Chinese mainland and Taiwan, and fired missiles over the island. U.S. officials said transits would continue and Chinese intimidation tactics would be challenged.
One of Iraq's most powerful figures, who has been at the center of a long crisis over forming a government, has announced his retirement from political life. Muqtada al-Sadr, a firebrand Shia cleric with millions of followers, announced his decision on the social media platform Twitter. In his statement, Mr. Sadr announced his final retirement and the closure of all his institutions across the country. Some religious sites linked to his movement will remain open. The NASA has postponed the launch of the Artemis 1 mission to the moon due to a malfunctioning core stage engine. The American Space Agency had been set to launch today its colossal next-generation rocket ship named as Artemis program on a long-awaited debut test flight, a planned 6-week uncrewed voyage around the moon and back, 50 years after Apollo's last lunar mission. The countdown clock was halted about 40 minutes before the targeted launch time as the 32-story tall, 2-stage Space Launch System rocket and its Orion crew capsule awaited liftoff from the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral in Florida. The U.S. Space Agency cited a problem detected on one of the rocket's main engines after launch teams had begun filling the rocket's core fuel tanks with supercooled liquid oxygen and hydrogen propellants. NASA, however, did not give a new launch date, but said its first available backup launch opportunity was set for Friday, the 2nd of September. In Durand Cup football, Mumbai City FC beat Rajasthan United FC 5-1 to book their place in the knockouts of the tournament at the Kishore Bharti Krinangan today. In another match played this evening at the Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium, Guwahati, Odisha defeated Sudeva Delhi 3-0.
The U.S. Open tennis tournament has begun today in New York. In the first round of men's singles at the 4th and the final Grand Slam of the year, defending champion and top seed Daniil Medvedev of Russia will face Stepan Kozlov of America. Today's matches will also feature 5th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas, former champion Dominic Thiem, Felix Auger and Taylor Fritz. Women's single champion Emma Raducanu will also be under the spotlight. The tournament will take place without Novak Djokovic due to a dispute related to the Corona protocol. This is the second Grand Slam of the year in which Djokovic is not participating. So Rafael Nadal, a 4-time US Open champion, will be hot favorite in this mega event. Meanwhile, focus will also be on 23-time Grand Slam winner Serena Williams. After one of the greatest careers in tennis history, Serena Williams is expected to play in her final tournament at the US Open, a tribute from our news desk.
What a kind of domination in the arena of tennis. Serena has won 23 Grand Slam titles, more than any other male or female player in the Open era. She was world number 1 for 319 weeks, holding that position for 186 consecutive weeks. An icon, a legend, the greatest of all time, an athlete who has been a fantastic ambassador for the game that she has adored and dedicated her life to. Serena Williams is a symbol and rules the sport with every ounce of her blood and sweat. In a Vogue magazine article, Serena wrote, "I have never liked the word retirement. It doesn't feel like a modern word to me. Maybe the best word to describe what I'm up to is evolution. Yeah, it's just an evolution." She will be remembered for not only dominating the sport, but also transforming it. With Pratyush Ghosh's report, Aparajita Nair, All India Radio News.
The Sensex and the Nifty today plunged around 1.5%. A report from the business desk.
The Sensex declined 861 points to finish at 57,973, while the Nifty fell 246 points and at 17,313. At the forex market, the rupee weakened 10 paise to 79 rupees and 97 paise against the dollar. At the multi-commodity exchange, gold futures for October was trading at 51,100 rupees per 10 grams. Silver futures for September was trading at 54,175 rupees per kilo when reports last came in. And oil logged modest gains amid reports of potential OPEC plus output cuts and conflicts in Libya. Brent crude was trading at $101.30 per barrel. Nishit Kumar for AIR News.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that he is saddened to see the devastation caused by the floods in Pakistan. Mr. Modi extended his heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims, the injured and all those affected by this natural calamity. In a tweet, the Prime Minister has hoped for an early restoration of normalcy. Now let us have a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi is expected to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius while a maximum will be around 34 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 33 degrees. Kolkata is expected to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunder shower. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 35 degrees. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 33 degrees. Srinagar is expected to have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will be between 15 and 31 degrees Celsius. While Muzaffarabad will experience partly cloudy sky, the temperature will vary between 21 and 33 degrees Celsius. Jammu will witness a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 32 degrees. Leh will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 12 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 28 degrees. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 17 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 28 degrees. In the south, Hyderabad will experience a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The temperature will hover between 23 and 32 degrees Celsius. Bengaluru and Thiruvananthapuram will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. In the northeast, Guwahati will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 35 degrees Celsius. Imphal, Aizawl, Shillong, Gangtok, Kohima and Itanagar will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal calls for integration of One District, One Product initiative with open network for digital commerce. Multimodal logistics parks in Maharashtra to bring in employment opportunities and some relief in transport costs, says Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari. Chief Justice UU Lalit says Supreme Court to devise new mechanism for mentioning of cases by 1st September. Supreme Court seeks response from Karnataka government on pleas challenging High Court's verdict refusing to lift ban on hijab in state educational institutions. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to visit the United Arab Emirates from the 31st of this month for 14th India-UAE Joint Commission meeting and the 3rd India-UAE Strategic Dialogue. Russia calls on the international community to put pressure on Ukraine to reduce tension at Moscow-controlled Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. NASA postpones mission to the moon following technical snag. In Durand Cup football, Mumbai City trounces Rajasthan United 5-1 and Odisha defeats Sudeva Delhi 3-0. US Open Tennis Tournament, the 4th and final Grand Slam of the year, kicks off in New York. And with this, we end the evening news. Good night.